Hello, my friends, and welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm happy to be here with you. I took the weekend off and it felt really weird not to do readings because readings really light me up, or they light my soul on fire. So it felt really strange to be away from all of you for the weekend. But I'm happy to be here this morning. I'm just going to see what Spirit wants you to know about your current love situation, I think, today. And I wanted to point out that I have... This little kitty has been here a while, this little black kitty. But last week I got a white one, so we have yin and yang here. So I just wanted to point them out in case you couldn't see this little kitty that's over here now. Let me make sure you can see it. Yes. That little kitty can just sleep under the tree. And this little kitty can sleep over here. Maybe that's symbolic that you and your person, there's distance between you, emotional, physical distance. But let's get into this reading and see what you need to hear today. So I think what I might do is I might do what I did last week, where I might get your energy and their energy and what Spirit wants you to know. So let's get into it. That was the first cut I had the other day too, building blocks. So maybe right now you and your person are both working on your own foundations, because building blocks is about building a strong foundation. And one of the things that card talks about, I think it's that card, it talks about accepting that everyone has flaws is part of that, and that nobody's perfect. Well, we have divine masculine energy, yang. So maybe right now you're really focusing on your own divine masculine energy, taking action towards things in your life, maybe even your mission, I'm hearing. Let's get one more. We have regeneration, beautiful. Regeneration, look at that. I love that card. So you could be going through a bit of Phoenix energy right now. I'm just going to do one more shuffle. We have Treasure Island. I'm imagining. Discovering the treasure within you. Treasure Island, number 9. It's, 9 is a bit of an independent energy. So realizing that whatever you need and want comes from within. It doesn't come from outside of you, is what I'm hearing. I just heard discovering your own magic, so that's nice. Whoa, yeah, we have feminine energy. So the energy of receptivity, the energy of allowing things to unfold naturally. This is absolutely beautiful. The fact that I brought out these two cats and showed them to you and said like yin and yang, maybe you are, I don't know, this feels like you could be balancing your feminine and masculine energies right now. I'm seeing the Temperance card, discovering that treasure within, the magic within, building your own foundation. And again, I just keep hearing accepting that everyone has flaws, including yourself, is part of it. No one's perfect. No one's perfect is what I'm hearing. We have co-create. That's really interesting, because I saw the Yang card and we have the Yin card. And I was talking about how you and this person, there may be distance between you, emotional, physical distance. But it's like you're both, by both working on your foundations and discovering that what you need actually comes from within you, not outside of you, you're actually like co-creating with this person is what I'm hearing. And I think it's interesting that we have the cheetah up here, because the cheetah always reminds me of divine masculine energy, or masculine energy, momentum, movement, force. And then the owl makes me think of the high priestess, trusting your inner knowing. Well, this is very beautiful. I'm just going to read this bottom card to you. Yin. It's funny because when I picked up this deck, I was seeing the Yin card. So I like that it came out for you. The feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing. This is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you will see how quickly your dreams manifest. That's just beautiful to me. I like this energy already. So, if that's not the energy you're in, maybe that's the energy that you need to be in or work towards, Again, balancing your divine feminine, divine masculine energies, working on your own foundation, discovering the magic within you, realizing that, I know I'm repeating myself, but realizing that whatever you need actually comes from within you. The love that you're seeking for in another human being is already within you. You don't need that other human being to receive that love because you're capable of giving that love to yourself. All right. Let's see. Let's look at you. What does Spirit want you to know about let's just look at you first. So let's get the viewer, please, Spirit. Show me the viewer. We have a leg up and we have new life on the bottom. That's beautiful. I'm not as familiar with this leg up. But I will mention that it says 3 and 4. And I've been talking about divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy and balancing those energies within yourself. And that creates forward movement, 7, Chariot. So the more you balance those feminine and masculine energies, the more it will breathe new life into you. And the more it will move you into alignment, 7, Chariot energy. So let's look at a leg up, and I'll read both the oracle message and the relationship message. You've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. So I'll see what else this reading is about, but this is giving me the energy that Spirit will be, or the universe, whatever you resonate with, is going to be sending you people to give you a leg up on your journey, or to remember that co-create card. So it could be that you have friends, like new friends or soul tribe members entering your life, or maybe, if you're doing something with work, maybe someone's about to enter your energy when it comes to your career that will help you, give you a leg up. It's interesting because this is reminding me of at a part in my journey where I was like really focused. I was really focused on my person, and I was really focused on getting what I needed from my person. And, I was trying to manifest love into my life. I was trying to manifest my person into my life. And the universe was trying, or Spirit was trying to send me people, I had people who were trying to, be a part of my life, or they were showing care for me. And I was missing the signs because I was so focused on my person. And when I allowed those people to come into my life, I ended up making a few really good friends. Not that they all stuck around, but, they came into my life, taught me a lesson. Some of them left after that lesson. But I'll just use my friend as an example. I was so busy. I had my focus so set on my person. I was missing the signs that I had this person trying to be my friend and trying to interact with me. And when I realized that, and I started focusing not just on that friendship, but I took my focus off my person and realized, wait a minute, there are people here who want to show me love. There are people here who want to, I'm thinking about that co-create card. And it really was like a breath of new life in my life. And like I said, I've made an amazing friend out of that exact situation. I always say she's one of the greatest gifts on this journey, my friendship with her, because we have a friendship where we can talk about spiritual things. And, I feel weird mentioning this, but recently, and I'm like tearing up thinking about it, but someone who has been my mentor and my guiding light for years, and like I've always watched her. I watch her, she's been my guiding light on this journey. And she recently found me. She, she saw my light and she found me. So I've been interacting with her a bit more. And there's more to this journey, is what I'm hearing. There's more to this journey than just your person and being in union with your person. The journey itself is beautiful. You discovering yourself, you finding other people on your soul tribe. When you shine your light, it allows them to find you. So I just feel, like I said, maybe we'll see what else the cards say, because for some of you, it could be like I channeled a collective the other day that was, it looked like they were ready to co-create with their person after, a long separation. So we'll see what comes out in your person's energy, but just know that whether it's your person or not, the universe is aligning you with people to co-create with, to give you a leg up on this journey. And that's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to read the relationship message as well. Relationships that are healthy thrive on interdependence. It's important to recognize that you need others as much as they need you. You must allow people to support you just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, speak up about your needs, and ask for them to be fulfilled. Trust, you will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind, though. Ask and it is given. So again, I just want to wait to see what comes out, but I did see that building blocks card, so it could be, for some of you, and let's not put a time on this, but in the future, if this person does come back into your life, remember yin energy, you're meant to be really focusing on yourself right now, allowing things to unfold naturally. It said very specifically, letting others make the first move. But in the future, when this person does come back into your life and you're building that foundation, just remember a healthy relationship is, a balance of being together, togetherness, but also independence. So you don't want to lose yourself when this person comes in. You don't want to lose everything you've worked so hard to create. You don't want to lose that relationship with yourself or the friendships you've built or whatever you're doing for, like, let's say you're going after your mission or you're working on your mission. You don't just want to push all that to the back burner just because your person came back. And there's also something here about being vulnerable and speaking up about your needs. I'm hearing when this person does come back in, that's going to be an important thing for you to do, is to be vulnerable and speak up about your needs. And also just like that friendship thing, I was thinking about opening up and being vulnerable and not just being there for someone else, not just, how can I put that? I'm kind of being reminded of like that friendship that I had in the beginning. I had a hard time opening up and being vulnerable. I loved talking to that friend, and I would like, ask them all the time about how they were doing. But it's important to be vulnerable and to show the vulnerable parts of yourself as well, so that it's not just one-sided. But anyway, it does seem like the universe is going to be sending people into your life, or maybe you're already experiencing this, that is really going to feel like a a breath of fresh air. A brush. That is a breath of fresh air all in one. A brush. All right, so let's look at what's going on with your person. It's really strange to me how on that co-create card, the owl was on a rope and then the cheetah was up. And I'm just noticing how this cat is up and this, anyway. Let's see what is going on with your person. What is going on with your person? Didn't want to come out, whatever that was. We have chaos and conflict. All right, so chaos and conflict. I feel like your person is going through a lot right now in their life, a lot of chaos and conflict, possibly internally, but also externally. The external conflict and chaos could be, this universe's way or spirit's way of getting this person to then go within. I'm hearing your outer world reflects your inner world. So if this person has a lot of chaos and conflict all around them, like tower moments all around them, then it's really meant to reflect back onto them, like the fact that their inner world is also full of chaos and conflict. One thing that I'm hearing though, we have the giraffe print on this zebra body. And zebras always make me think of temperance, balancing divine feminine, divine masculine energies. Oh, look, we have 33 and 34. Anyway. But the giraffe makes me think of seeing the bigger picture, because when you think about a giraffe, they can see things from up above. They can look down and, I'm hearing see the bigger picture. Anyway, so let's look at what your person is going through right now. Where's my book? 33. 33 is one of my favorite numbers. No, it is my favorite number. Actually, my entire life, number 9 was my favorite number. And now it makes sense now that I'm like on this journey myself. The 9, associated with the hermit, soul purpose, self-reflection, getting on your own path. That Treasure Island card, number 9, realizing that everything you need is actually within you, not outside of you. It's almost like the number 9 has been like guiding me my entire life, and I didn't know, and 33, and I didn't know the significance of it, but now I understand it. I always used to say, I don't know why number 9 is my favorite number. Now I understand. Chaos and conflict. Disarray, being at a cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. So again, it feels like what I'm getting here is, again, I'm repeating myself, but I feel like the universe, because maybe you've been focusing on this person or the idea of union, and I just feel like the universe is going to be sending people to give you a leg up in your journey, to help you learn important lessons, to help you, like maybe mentors to inspire you to go after your soul purpose, or someone at work, give you a leg up at work in your own career. Meanwhile, your person, it feels like the universe, I'm hearing Archangel Michael is working very hard to awaken this person. And again, chaos comes before order. So right now it looks like they're really going through it. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind parts of yourself that you no longer need. Tower energy, my goodness, whatever doesn't align with their highest good is being removed. And disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outwards and causing disarray. You may find yourself at a purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than just one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be misunderstood. And I'm going to read the relationship message because I think it's symbolic of what your person is going through. Stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. Why can't I read this morning? Listen, I'm hearing distorted masculine energy on your person's side. So there really is, remember that Yang card, there's a need for them to step into that divine masculine energy. I want to say both, like step into their divine feminine and divine masculine energy, just like you're being called to do. And if your person is in like distorted masculine energy and you want to help them, you can't go in there and put out their fires. You can't go in there and create order in their life for them. It's something they need to go through. I feel like your person could be, going through some sort of awakening, possibly a dark night of the soul. So the best thing you can do for them, if you really want to help them and they're in distorted masculine energy, is to embody divine masculine energy yourself in your own life, knowing your worth, having confidence, taking action towards things. Like, if you're someone who does want more friends, maybe putting yourself out there a little bit more, or, getting out in the community or taking a course. Or like me, maybe you have, someone who's been trying to be your friend, but you've been so focused on this person that you've been missing the signs. It just feels to me like the universe is going to be sending you people to help you on this next part of your journey while your person is going through this. And again, I was hearing distorted masculine energy. I'm thinking about that book that I often read from, where it talks about distorted masculine energy, the need to be right. There can only be one winner, one loser, wanting to argue, wanting to be right, wanting to prove their point, distorted masculine energy, because that's what this sounds like. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, and what is really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable, and if that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? And what did that co-create card? The cheetah, I specifically said that cheetah is up above on higher ground. And I mentioned this. The cat is up higher than this cat. Anyway. Soon the air will clear, and you will be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, I have chills right now, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before, if you use this time constructively. So it could be that in the past your person has had these little tower moments, but didn't use their time constructively. Maybe they just tried to repair those towers and hold on to what was trying to be removed from their life rather than releasing it. There's something about, them seeing the light here, seeing the bigger picture, and, anything that's not aligned with them is being scattered to the wind here. Let's see a message for connecting energy for both of you. We have the observer and round for them. So this is what I mean. Like in the past, this person could have had these tower moments and maybe they just kept going around in circles. I think they need to go around in circles. I'm thinking of in that same book that I keep mentioning, that's distorted feminine energy. And now I'm slurring my words a little. So maybe for some of you, your person has, some sort of addiction is what I'm hearing. Whenever my words slur, my guides like make me very aware of it, as a recovering alcoholic. Anyway, maybe this person, in the past, they just kind of watched these tower moments happen, not realizing the lesson in them, not realizing that it was meant to kind of wake them up. And maybe they were just stuck, like the same tower moments happening over and over and over and over again. And they just, observed these tower moments happening, for some of them trying to hold on to what wasn't aligned with them anymore. Anyway, it seems like this chaos and this conflict is meant to help your person realize what's truly valuable in life. And it's not the things that are, crumbling around them that they're trying so desperately to hold on to. All right, let's get a connecting card for both of you. A message for connecting energy, please, Spirit. We have To the Sea. Beautiful. And this is about To the Sea. I will look in the book, but intuitively, if you look at this card, first of all, 7, Chariot energy. Whatever you're both going through is helping move you into alignment, for what is for your highest good, I'm hearing. But in this To the Sea card, you can see there's only one person in that boat. So it feels like right now you're both kind of out to sea. You're kind of in your own boats on your own journey. And To the Sea, I believe, like I said, I'll read it, but I believe that part of it is like being on your own journey, trusting in your inner knowing of what you believe to be true and kind of releasing attachment to it. It's making me think of that meditation that I sometimes talk about, where instead of, cutting cords, which everything that I've heard says you can't actually cut cords with a twin flame or a divine pairing. You can't actually cut the cords because you are one soul. But one thing that I heard of doing is releasing them, releasing the outcome. So you imagine them or yourself in a boat. You imagine the other person on the dock. Whoever's in the boat, the other person is on the dock. And it's not like you're in a jet boat and you're speeding away from this person. You imagine releasing the tie that binds you, the tie that keeps you stuck, the attachment. You imagine just gently releasing it from the dock, giving yourself a gentle little push, and then you floating away in your boat. Anyway, this is connecting energy between the two of you. And that's what I mean. It feels like right now you and this person are on your own journeys, meant to be focusing on your own boats, learning your own lessons. Being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. Isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. And I just heard, for them, perfect conditions are these tower moments, because it's meant to connect them to source, just like you're meant to be connecting to source. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. So imagine yourself in those whitewater rapids. Instead of fighting against the current and trying to paddle your way back up those whitewater rapids or controlling the boat, just sit back and enjoy the ride is what I'm hearing. And again, I feel like Right now, you're kind of both in your own boats, both meant to be trusting your inner knowing, connecting to source. I feel like it's about strengthening your connection to source. And for them, it feels like this chaos and conflict is meant to be connecting them to their higher power, their source, whatever that is for them, their God, whatever that is to them. This is also a message of not trying to control what's going on in this relationship right now, because you can't. This card in the relationship message is go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way? And I feel like there's a bit of mirroring here, because I feel like your person with this card, there's this energy of them wanting to be right, and this distorted masculine energy keeping them in a state of opposition and stubbornness. And for you, maybe your need for control is you were trying to control the outcome, or you were trying to control how and when union would happen, or you were attached to that idea. And again, spirits like, just allow this to unfold the way it needs to unfold. And again, I know you probably are this unconditionally loving soul who just wants to help your person, but the universe needs to help your person right now. You can't go in and put out those little fires. So just allow this to happen over here, is what I'm hearing. Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and to see where this mutual journey leads. And while I was away, I was watching some, reality TV show like I do. And I was watching Temptation Island. I love the host of that show. He is so... I don't know if you've ever watched that, but the host of that show, he is so, like, that is how he shines his light. That is his purpose. Like, and I'm getting chills as I'm talking about this. And, my friend was, I love her, but my friend is a part of that, like, programmed 85%, and I'm not. So I had a very different opinion about that show, but that show was just, all of those people were like heavily wounded and needed a lot of healing. And they were looking for that. They were looking to be healed within that relationship, or they were looking to be fulfilled within a relationship. And again, the host of that show, he knows what he is talking about, and he's amazing. What's his name? His name is Mark Wahlberg, but not the movie star. Just the way he was always, like, they would say, I feel like he doesn't love me, and I feel like he's never going to give me that love I'm searching for. And he would say to them, what if that love you're searching for is within yourself? And I was just like, dang, listen to that man. But anyway, right now you're really meant to be focusing on your own journeys. But during that show, I heard a song. I'm so bad with song names and artists, but it was called The Journey. And I want to say John Coggins. I'd never heard of this singer, but I might be getting it completely wrong. It might be something Coggins, The Journey. Anyway, I looked it up. Maybe I'll just look it up for you. And to me, as a divine being, it just, on this journey, it just spoke to me. Let me look it up for you. The Journey, it sparked that memory or that song in me when this one was talking about, can you allow this journey? Can you allow things to unfold naturally and see where this journey leads the both of you? Because clearly this person needs to go through what they're going through. And clearly you need, like, I feel like you've gone it alone for a long time on this journey, and Spirit's saying you're not alone. We're about to send in help. We're about to send in a soul tribe member, or we're about to send in a friend, or we're about to send in, like, maybe this is about you connecting more with your spirit guides and your ancestors and having their help along the way. Anyway, let me see if I got the name right. Probably not. I think I'm a little off, but we'll see. No, I was right. The Journey, John Coggins. It's from 2020. And I'm going to read you the lyrics, so just stay with me for a minute if you feel called to. 2020 could be an important year. I think, like, for a lot of people, I believe, including myself, awakened during 2020 because it was the first time in my lifetime where the world just kind of stopped and people were at home and they had no choice but to spend time with themselves alone and really get to know themselves. So I feel like that year was a very powerful year for people awakening. But the lyrics are, I've struggled through deeper waters. I've called on my sisters and brothers. I'm telling you, help is on the way, dearie. I've taken so many steps forward and 100 more back. Dark clouds keep rolling in. Yes, I've been down and hurt, but here is what I've learned. Oh, this is so beautiful. It's not the destination. It's all in the journey. You have to be patient. Don't be in a hurry. It's not the destination. It's all in the journey. You've got to be patient. I've spent too long trying to be perfect. You can't please everyone. It's not worth it. Sometimes you just got to do you. Stop comparing yourself because you'll feel like a fool. If there's no pain, there's no growth. And I could just turn and go, but here is what I know. It's not the destination. It's all in the journey. You got to be patient. Don't be in a hurry. It's not the destination. It's all in the journey. You got to be patient. And then it just repeats the same thing that I said about it's all in the journey. It's not the destination. Don't worry. It's the journey. And then it says, you want to go fast, then go alone. You want to go far, then go together. You want to go fast, then go alone. You want to go far, then go together. And it just repeats like that. So The Journey by John Coggins. And again, music, very powerful messages in music. I think that, a lot of people who watched that show probably didn't give that song a second thought. But I heard something so deep in that song. The Journey, John Coggins. I got it right. So enjoy the journey and see where this journey takes the both of you. And you can't control what this person's boat is doing. All you can do is be in your boat and enjoy the journey, and who you meet along the way, a leg up, because I feel like if you haven't, you're about to meet some new people, even if it's just one person, right? Again, that's something that I said to my friend over and over again, like all this time, I've been like wanting and longing for love in my life and reciprocal energy and a spiritual connection. And the universe just gave it to me on this shiny platter, but I was too busy looking at a different platter to realize the universe was trying to give it to me in the form of a beautiful friendship. But anyway, so I want to get a couple of these cards that I love so much as well. Psychic Tarot for the Heart. We have Feeling Alone. 5 of Pentacles energy. So you could be feeling very alone right now, especially as you're trying to shine your light. It can be a very lonely journey because most people are not awakened and they don't understand and they think that you're crazy and they question your mental state. And I always say with this card, there's something about how the mountains are almost blocking the moon. So don't let the obstacles and the distance between you and this person block your intuition and your inner knowing. And, there is something about you shining your light, but feeling very alone. Shine that light. It sends off like a beacon to the people who are meant to find your light. And if I talk about her in all of my readings, my favorite reader, it's Naked by Moon on YouTube, not Magic by the Moon. That is a fake account, which I report all the time, but it still seems to be there. Naked by Moon on YouTube, and then she's Magic by the Moon on TikTok. Anyway, look, we have the Lovers. And I always say with this card shows two people who have to grow before they can come together. And that's what this journey, if this is the journey you're on, that's what it's about. It's not about rushing into marriage. It's not actually about union. It's about yourself. It's about the journey. And in that song, it says, you want to go fast, then go alone. Anyway. Gemini energy. We have change your focus. Do you see? Change your focus. That's exactly what I was talking about when that card came out, how I was so focused on something else. The minute I changed my focus, a breath of new life into me. So change your focus. Like if you are hyper focused on this person, or you're hyper fixated on when will it happen or when will union be, Spirit's saying change your focus. I always talk about it with that pot. Instead of waiting for that pot to boil, which it's boiling, their pot is boiling now. Instead of watching and waiting for that pot to boil, change your focus. If you are, and I've said it in readings before, if you are trying to manifest love in your life, manifest a soul friendship. Society makes us believe that love, like romantic love, yes, romantic love is beautiful and important, but love is love. Like there are other ways to have love in your life, like self-love, for example. Change your focus. Take your attention off of this person and redirect it onto yourself, or onto your mission, or onto your friendships, or onto your fur babies. I'm going to shuffle one more time. We have embrace the world. So embrace the journey. Embrace the lessons this journey is meant to be teaching you. Embrace the distance. The world card energy can speak of distance. We have open up. Stop holding back. Start shining your light. Again, this is reminding me of everything I was talking about on my journey, where I was like really holding back, and it was almost like I was waiting for my person, and that's not, don't wait for your person. Don't wait to, don't wait to start a new business just because you're hoping that maybe this person will come back into your life. Don't wait to start working out, and improve how you feel about your body, because maybe you're waiting for this, maybe I'll start, if my person talks to me, then maybe I'll start working out so that, I can look good for them. Wrong mindset. Stop playing small. Stop holding back. Stop dimming your light. Shine your light so that the universe, spirit, God, whatever it is that you resonate with, can send you the people who are waiting to see your light. Again, stop playing small, I'm hearing. Opportunity beckons. By you opening yourself up and being vulnerable and showing your true self. That's how the people who are meant to find you will find you. Take it from someone who masked who they were their entire life, who just mirrored, And I'm not talking about like this type of mirroring. I'm talking about I was someone who didn't know who I was, and I was, a people pleaser. So whatever friend I had at the time, whatever hobbies they liked, that's what I would like. And I just became like almost another version of them. And in that sense, by not opening up and being my true, authentic, vulnerable self, I was not aligning with the people I was meant to align with. How can your people find you if you're closed off? How can your people find you if you're pretending to be someone else? And this goes for doing what I do as well. Be your authentic self so the people who are meant to find you can find you. If you're pretending to be someone else or you're imitating somebody else, the right people will not find you. And it's like Spirit saying, opportunity beckons. There's opportunities for you to have and embrace on this beautiful journey, but you need to open up to them. And for some of you, maybe you're thinking about starting your soul's path or teaching others or sharing your light. And Spirit's saying, stop playing small. Embody that divine masculine energy, right? Go after take action towards your dreams. Have the confidence to do so. Stand in your authentic power. And the people who will find you, who are meant to find you, will find you. Anyway. All right, so let's look at your side first. A leg up. A leg up. We have heart chakra. Open your heart. Like this is 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So many fours. You are being protected. Step into that divine masculine energy. Know your worth is what I'm hearing. We have rebuild on the bottom. So start working on your foundation. Remember that foundation card. Start rebuilding your foundation. Again, there's something about you focusing on yourself right now and stepping into your true authentic self. And again, opening your heart, not closing your heart to all the love that the world has to give you just because you had an idea that, or had an attachment to, well, I'm saving my love for my person. I'm saving my love for union. Again, my heart was very closed off, and focused on the outcome. And when I allowed myself to open up and truly open up my heart, the universe sent me love in so many different ways. Anyway, I just want to see what this says. I'm going to get you another one, though. This is a chakra card. Parallel to the heart chakra represents unconditional love, compassion, harmony, relationships, and healing. It is believed to be the link between mind, body, and soul. To activate this chakra, take a moment to send from your heart loving, healing energy in the form of blue and green waves. Blue for peace, green for healing. Send this to everyone and everything unconditionally. This love will be returned to you for your own healing. So remember, there are many ways to love. And I think that society, social media has us believe that we put a lot of emphasis on romantic love. And Spirit's saying open up to love in other areas of your life, in friendships, in your community, with your fur babies, with your family, with your children, with yourself. And if you really want to help this person, send them those blue and green right here. Send them blue and green loving energy without expecting anything in return. Just send it to them because that's what they need right now. They don't need you to come in and put out these fires. They need you to send them that loving energy to help them through it, if that makes sense. I'm going to get you one more card. Well, Yes. No. Yes. Let's... I'm on the fence. Let me just look at this card and see if it's symbolic to what we're going through here. We're going through. Okay, so there's something about, I am going to read this and take it for you, because there is something here about layers, like healing certain aspects of this. And I'll just read the card and you can take from it what you want. It is this card is associated with the Tower. The dynamics of a relationship can often be complicated. The longer you've been in a relationship, the more complex it can be. Relationships begin to grow many layers consisting of joy, sorrows, honesty, and duplicity. As these layers build on top of each other, it becomes increasingly difficult to know what the core of the relationship is based on. What was once love may now appear as merely tolerance, or even worse. Even good relationships, you may find yourself growing apart from the other person. In either case, the weight of these layers can cause a relationship to collapse. Now may be a good time to start fresh with one or more of your relationships. Peel off the layers one by one, cut away any pretense, and see what may be revealed. Find the core of the relationship and decide if it's still what you want and what you find attractive. If so, then discard the old layers and consciously create new commitments with this person or persons, one based on truth, honesty, and love. Use the awareness gained by this exercise to steer the relationship on a clear and steady course. The same applies to rebuilding the relationship with yourself. Examine your many layers of joy and sorrows, successes and failures, and think about how they're affecting your ability to love yourself and therefore to find love. Expose the false voices that tell you you're unworthy and silence them. When you do, your true value will be revealed. Rebuild your life around unconditional love for yourself and invite in unconditional love from others. So I think that was relevant for what I was talking about for you. All right. So let's look at them. Also, like for you, if you are someone who, I feel like this was probably a complicated situation where there were many layers, where there were layers of loving this person. There were layers of anger and resentment, maybe. You still have layers of, how can I put this? Like you could still be holding on to old layers of this person, negative layers that you went through. And Spirit's saying it's time to start with a clean slate. It's time to remove those layers and kind of release it and allow this to unfold naturally, rather than holding on to those old layers. And that could go for good layers as well. Like maybe there were some truths that you needed to see about this person rather than holding on to only the good things. I hope I'm not confusing you too much. All right, let's see your person's energy or a card for their chaos and conflict. Show me their person. We have teach. So it's meant to teach them. That's exactly what I was saying. Hierophant energy, spiritual awakening. What they're going through is meant to teach them about themselves. It's meant to teach them about what their values and beliefs are. What I feel like it's meant to spiritually enlighten them and connect them to source. And again, you could have been trying to prevent this from happening, or you could have been trying to help this person in some way, or maybe you had this idea that you could go in and put out those fires. But Spirit's saying, like, let this person go through this because it's teaching them valuable lessons. And Hierophant always gives me soul contract energy, a soul contract that you have with another that is meant to teach you things. So I feel like this connection and whatever they're going through right now, the chaos internally and externally, is meant to teach them these very important lessons with this Hierophant card. And we have find balance on the bottom, Two of Pentacles. So maybe this is someone who had a hard time balancing like their personal life and work, or finding balance between even their inner and outer world. Right now, this is supposed to be helping your person find balance. Remember, Temperance, balance, the zebra. So what they're going through is very important right now, just like what you're going through is very important. Even though you're not together, even though you're in your own little boats here, on your own journeys. I'm going to get one more for your person. It's definitely meant to be teaching them something here. Pomeranians could be symbolic. This is also about you rebuilding who you are after awakening, right? Because we're different people. And like this card talked about, sometimes friendships fall away after we've awakened. You know, we're no longer in the same frequency as the people we were in the same frequency as before we awakened. All right, let's get one more for your person. We have strengthening bonds. And I always say with this card, I feel like this is strengthening their bond with themselves, because in this image, it's only one person. And it's like this person is seeing the light. What they're going through right now is meant to help strengthen their bond with themselves, so that then they can strengthen that bond with others. And maybe, you know, bonds that aren't so strong in their life, just like I talked about in your life, could be falling away right now. They could be realizing what they value in connections, what they value in their life, and whatever they don't value, whatever doesn't align with their highest good, again, is being removed. So it's teaching them, you know, to strengthen the bond with themselves, to strengthen their bond with their higher power, to source. Also with you, like maybe this is someone who didn't, maybe this is someone who didn't know how to create a strong foundation with you because they didn't have a strong foundation themselves. And I always say a person can only meet us where they are. So if you were wanting a strong foundation from this person, but their foundation was crumbling beneath them, they can't build a strong foundation with you. So really it looks like both of you are meant to be strengthening your own foundations right now. Let's get a card for connection. So a card to connect these two energies together. What is the connecting energy here? We have spread your wings, Two of Wands energy, and the Hierophant, listen. So twos could be symbolic. I believe I'm just hearing 222 is balance. So right now, again, you're meant to be listening. Both of you are meant to be listening to your inner knowing. You're meant to be trusting your intuition, connecting with source. High Priestess, very quiet, right? Two of Wands is preparing to leave your comfort zone. So in what ways do you need to leave your comfort zone? Because where we feel the safest is usually not where the growth happens. Where we feel the safest can sometimes keep us stuck. So what are you feeling called to spread your wings and go towards? In what way are you feeling called to leave your comfort zone? And your person, this is connecting energy, so same thing. They're meant to be leaving their comfort zone, the comfort of the crumbling tower. Maybe they're used to that crumbling tower, and for them it feels safe. I often say with the Tower card, like at the beginning of my journey, I was in that tower. It was crumbling around me. the universe was sending me signs to get out of that tower. And I'm like, no, this is what I've always known, so I'm just going to stay right here. And then the universe threw me out of that tower head first. I also, as a reader, I look at the Two of Wands. Oftentimes in the Two of Wands, you see someone, there's like a globe or there's a world somewhere in the card, and the High Priestess. There's this energy of both of you looking at the patterns and the behaviors that have kept you stuck and have kept you from moving forward in your own lives. Same with the High Priestess. Sometimes I hear, there's a reader that I watch sometimes, and one day she was talking about how the High Priestess can be when you start reprogramming heavily ingrained, like heavily, deeply rooted, lifelong patterns. When you start to reprogram them, when you start to, again, trust your inner knowing and trust your intuition, and you see through that veil, is what I'm hearing. I talk about how those patterns, you know, maybe to you or to someone else, it would be easy just to stop that pattern. But like, I use myself as an example. I've been someone who has always over apologized my entire life. One, because of trauma and programming. Two, because I'm Canadian. And a lot of Canadians apologize. But it was heavily programmed into me. And when I first started my channel, that's one of the things that people would say to me is like, why do you apologize so much? You really have to stop apologizing. And that's something that I've been working on steadily for like 2 years, 3 years, not to keep apologizing for just existing. And you hear it in my readings sometimes because it's like a habit, because it's deeply ingrained in me and it's deeply rooted within me and it's been programmed into me. As much as I would like to snap my fingers and never apologize again for existing, it still happens. It still slips out of me. I apologize for existing. I'm not talking about apologizing for bad behavior and taking accountability. I'm talking about like apologizing for existing. So just remember that when these patterns are deeply ingrained in us and deeply rooted, it takes a long time to break those patterns and to break that programming. Anyway. So that's the current energy. You're both preparing to leave your comfort zone in some way. You're both meant to be spreading your wings right now and moving towards that Three of Wands, which Three of Wands can talk about starting to create a solid foundation. So right now you're both meant to be working on your own foundations so that when you come together in union, you're both coming in with incredibly strong foundations, starting from two incredibly strong foundations and merging those into one powerful foundation that can withstand any storm. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. I don't even know what I want to get you right now. What do I want to get you? Let's get some tarot. I pulled this deck, intuitively, the Pulp Tarot, and we have the King of Swords on the bottom. So right now, you know, seeing the truth, having clarity. Also, the King of Swords can be like detached. So it feels like both of you, I want to say, can clearly see that you have a connection, but both of you are detached right now. And again, I think you do need to be detached from the outcome here. And clearly your person is going through something that's going to strengthen them. April 16th or February 7th, July 2nd, May 1st. January 5th could be symbolic. Anyway, we have the Emperor in reverse. And I was talking about distorted masculine energy, the Emperor in reverse, like not feeling stable, not feeling confident. I'm just thinking about how I was mentioning that you need to be embodying that divine masculine energy right now and taking action towards the things that you feel called to take action towards. I actually just want to look. In my book. Stubborn, power struggle, competitiveness, Emperor in reverse. Emperor reversed can indicate a lack of self-control and the inability to handle situations on a personal level, leading to chaos and disorder. So, you know, that could be true for both of you. There could have been a bit of a power struggle between the two of you, or there could have been stubbornness. All right, let's keep going. That's Aries energy. We have the Nine of Swords. You could be feeling very anxious about all this right now. And we have the Ten of Cups. So you could be feeling anxious about, will I ever get my Ten of Cups? Will I ever get this emotional fulfillment? Will I ever feel fulfilled? Will I ever feel loved? And just remember that comes from within you. And you could be feeling anxious that this is your only shot at emotional fulfillment. And that's why I feel like the universe is sending you other people on this next part of your journey so that you can see that it's not all about this person. You know, your person could be feeling quite anxious about if they can ever give that to you. We have the Tower in reverse. And Justice in reverse. Interesting. An imbalance of energy. So if there was something imbalanced within this connection and you were both coming from shaky towers, this is what I mean. It was going to come crashing down. Justice in reverse can talk about an imbalance. So there could have been an energetic imbalance between you. It can talk about blaming. So there could have been blaming here where you blamed this person that union wasn't happening because of A, B, and C. And they could have blamed you for triggers that maybe you were triggering something within them. And instead of going within and seeing something about themselves and reflecting about themselves, this could have happened both ways. They just blamed you. And we have the Hermit, the need to go within and focus on yourself, self-discovery, soul searching, finding your soul purpose. I feel like, again, I'm seeing, that something was unstable here and had to come down because it was imbalanced. Both of you were probably coming from shaky foundations, I'm hearing. But the Tower in reverse also talks about foundational shifts. Let me just look here. So resisting change, there could have been a resistance to change, a resistance to let go of this. Like you could have been, I'm going to bring it out, my favorite card. You could have been holding on to a crumbling foundation because you wanted to control the outcome, just like this card. And maybe you had to let it go. Maybe you had to let that tower fall. Just like I think your person's tower is falling right now. You're both making adjustments, is what I'm hearing. So I'm just going to do like a you and them check-in with this. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. So for you, that's very interesting. This could be work-related for some of you, but the Four of Swords in reverse does talk about, release from isolation. And I feel like this is you because there's a lot of fours in your energy. And so it could be that the universe is guiding you or like releasing you from that isolation. Maybe you've been alone for quite a while, or you've been awakening on your own in that hermit energy for quite a while, and you're about to be released from that isolation. And I think it's more so about not about a release from isolation to be with this person right now, but a release from isolation so that you can shine your light, or so that you can align with these people that are meant to align with you in this next part of your journey. There's also something about the Four of Swords that talks about pressuring, like pressuring love. So, maybe you need to release the pressure on this person. Like maybe there was a lot of pressure on this person to heal or to give to you the way you wanted to be given to, or just the pressure of an attachment to the outcome. There's something about releasing that pressure. Anyway. All right, so let's look at you. Let's get a card for you. Let's look at you. We have the Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities, and we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. That's interesting. So maybe some of these opportunities have been being held back from you, or there's been delays with them. I just want to look at that Ace of Wands in reverse. Delays, blocks, lack of passion, lack of energy, hesitancy, creative blocks. Maybe feeling uninspired or unmotivated, lack of excitement in love. So I'm getting, it feels like you've been feeling like there's been obstacles in your way, whether that comes to love or to something you're trying to create, a new project. And what I was seeing, remember how I said in your energy, I saw that feeling alone, and you could see somebody with a lantern feeling very alone. Like maybe you've started a business recently or a new project. Maybe for some of you, like you even tried to start a new relationship, but there was just no excitement there. There was no, there was no passion there. Your heart just wasn't in it. But to me, it looks like these delays are coming to an end, and the universe is about to send in a gift here, just like that card, a leg up. So try and release whatever frustrations you have about the delay here or how long it's taking, because that can block your energy is what I'm hearing. And again, for some of you, maybe it's about a new project that you've started where there has been a lot of delays. I feel like those delays are about to be lifted. What's on the bottom? We have the Knight of Swords. So to me, there is this energy with the Knight of Swords, and I see the Four of Wands in reverse. Like impatience about union is what I keep hearing. And Spirit's saying to focus on the journey. You're about to be given some kind of new opportunity here. And if you're too focused and feeling too impatient about union and about this Four of Wands with your person, you're going to miss this opportunity that the universe is kind of like handing to you out of the sky here, because you're too worried about the delays with that person. There's also something here about if you have started your own business and you're feeling frustrated because you're not getting enough, like, let's just say it's online, and you're feeling frustrated because you're not getting enough views, or you're not getting enough, traffic or things like that. Spirit's saying, let go of that frustration. That's not what it's about. I always tell you guys that you shouldn't be creating in order to go viral or in order to get all this fame and attention. That's not what it's about. It's about helping others. It's about the right people finding your light. And that's why I always say, I don't care if I sit here for 2 hours doing a reading and only one person watches it. As long as one person takes something away from that message and it spoke to them and it helps them, that's all I care about. So try and whatever you're feeling impatient about with delays, Spirit's saying, like, try to release that. Send it out to sea. Try and release it and focus on the amazing opportunities that are being given to you right now, even if they're small. Like showing gratitude for even the small blessings in your life is what I'm hearing. Because again, there's some kind of new opportunity coming in for you. I just instinctively put that frustration about delays over there, like leave it in the past. Because you have something beautiful coming towards you right now. And again, there are more beautiful things in life than just coming into union with your person. There are more beautiful things in life. Like maybe for some of you, you got impatient because this person like clearly needs to wake up over here, which feels like that's what they're doing. But you could have got impatient and like, well, I'll just find somebody else. And maybe you did find somebody else, but that didn't fulfill you the way you wanted it to either. Anyway, let's look at what your person's going through. Let's look at your person. We have the Page of Cups in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse and the Tower in reverse. Wake up call. Like seriously. Seriously. Your person could have had a fear of commitment. The fact that this Hierophant is in reverse, but this one is in the upright, it makes me happy because it does feel like this person is finally learning some sort of lesson they've been hesitant to learn. And again, I feel like Page of Cups, it feels like your person maybe wasn't really connected to their intuition. Whoa. Page of Cups in reverse. Listen to this. Emotional vulnerability, immaturity, neglecting inner child, escapism. And what was I saying about how I feel like this person has had these tower moments before, but they've really, they weren't learning the lessons or they weren't seeing the lessons in them. They were just trying to put those fires out, or they were trying to work around those towers or keep those crumbling towers in their life. And right now, this person is in the energy where they're kind of like cracking open. Maybe that's why you have the heart chakra. Maybe that's why you're being guided because of mirroring, the power of mirroring. Maybe you're being guided to open up your heart towards yourself and friendships and other things because this person's heart needs to open as well. But your person could have escaped these lessons or tried to run away from these lessons or like neglecting the inner child. So clearly this person has wounding that wants to be, like their little inner child just wants to be healed. Maybe you are working on your inner child healing. And maybe that triggered your person a little bit energetically because their inner child just wants to wake up. This is reminding me of that reading where the inner child card was in reverse. Anyway. But it's like this person has been escaping or trying to escape or run from the inner work the internal inner work that they need to do. So now it's being reflected outside of them with like all of these tower moments and chaos because it's meant to really get them to turn inward and go into that hermit energy of self-reflection. You are being encouraged to reconnect with your initial joy and passion. So again, something in your person's energy talked about how they're meant to be connecting with what they find valuable and what brings them joy and happiness. This is, again, all of this energy is showing me that there was a lesson they were missing here in the past. And maybe, maybe for some of you, you were in contact with this person or trying to help this person. But I feel like this person really needs to go through this alone right now. Your person also could have had a fear of commitment here with the Hierophant in reverse. Values not aligned. So it feels like you and this person maybe had different values too. Like maybe you wanted stability in marriage, maybe they didn't. Maybe one of your values had to do with like spirituality and awakening and healing, and they had different views on that, or they weren't open to that. This Hierophant card in reverse says you have a particularly strong will and desire to regain control and break free from the shackles of convention. And I'm seeing in this deck, I'm seeing the Star card, where the person on the Star card is releasing those shackles, releasing, just like I think that you're meant to be, a releasing attachment to an outcome. All right, let's just see how you're feeling about this person. How do you currently feel about this person? We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So it feels like you are seeing this clearly now, or you have the fact that it's in reverse. It feels like you're seeing this clearly. You're trusting your inner knowing. If it was in the upright, it would be like confusion and, confusion and cloudiness. For some of you, the Seven of Cups, this person could have, maybe in the past, this person made you feel like an option, or like they didn't prioritize you, but it feels like you're seeing things clearly now with the Seven of Cups in reverse. We also have the Four of Swords in reverse. So what I'm seeing is that you're hoping, I'm saying hoping, that this person is now starting to see things clearly, and this person, wants to come out of isolation. Like I do feel like that's something that you want, is to reignite passion between the two of you. Four of Swords in reverse, reigniting passion. So it does feel like, it does feel like you have clarity and awareness about what's happening here. You have clarity and awareness of the journey you're on. Interesting. Every time I pull cards for you, it's like I want to make them all about you. But right now I'm asking how you feel about this person. I do feel like you hope they're gaining clarity. I'm going to get one more for that. How are you currently feeling about this person? Oh, we have Six of Cups in reverse. So unable to let go. Unable to let go, Six of Cups in reverse. Like clearly you feel a soul bond with this person. Six of Cups in reverse. Stuck in past. Whoa. For how you're feeling about this person. This card specifically talks about letting past experience dictate their future. Could be related to issues of trauma or childhood wounding. And look at your person. The Page of Cups in reverse talked about someone neglecting their childhood, like their inner child, and the healing that they need to do. And that's kind of how you're feeling about this person. You have clarity that this is not about you, that what they're going through or what they were projecting onto you is not a reflection of your worth. It's not a reflection of who they even are as a person. You're having clarity for how you feel about this person, that something keeps them stuck. Something having to do with their childhood wounds and their trauma is what's keeping them stuck. It's not your worth. It's something within them that keeps them stuck. And I'm hearing it's not your fault. You're realizing, you're getting clarity that it's not because you're not enough. It's not because you're this. It's not because you're that. It's not because you didn't try hard enough. It's not because, you're not a powerful enough healer. But you truly feel like what keeps them stuck and what's, what they allowed to dictate their future is their own wounding and trauma, which is actually like, it's sad. It's sad over here. But I love that you have clarity about that because you're no longer internalizing that. And again, with this, I'm hearing with this Ace of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like rather than focusing on the delays and all the obstacles here, you are seeing the gift in this journey, Ace of Pentacles. Unable to move on. So you do have a hard time moving on from this person. And like I said, maybe for some of you, you even tried to date someone else, but it just wasn't lighting your soul up the way that this did. Anyway, that's what we have for how you're feeling about them. This person could have also taught you a lot about your own childhood wounds. All right. Let's see how they're feeling about you. Whoa, Queen of Swords. Let's get one more. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse, Five of Cups. So there is regret here about some sort of communication or some sort of miscommunication, or even there's like a regret over that Queen of Swords is ever so slightly in the reverse. I don't know if you can see that. I'm taking that in the reverse. There's a lot of reversals coming out. But this person feels regret here for something that happened in the past, for some kind of communication. Maybe they feel regret for not speaking up. Maybe there's regret over some truth that you tried to tell them that now is unfolding in their life in a different lesson, in a different person, in a different situation. And now they're realizing that person had a point. Like you could have spoke a truth to them. I'm just thinking of justice in reverse. You could have spoken a truth to them. And because they were in this wounded place, this distorted masculine energy that I'm feeling, they could have been like, no, you're wrong. And they could have blamed you. But it feels like now they have remorse for whatever that was. Again, it feels like they've seen maybe a similar type of lesson, or someone in their life said something very similar to them about their own actions. For how they're feeling about you, definitely there was miscommunications here, or, they're feeling a sense of loss or remorse over maybe not communicating with you in the right way. I'm just going to look at the Ace of... Where am I going? It's funny, I picked a deck with a lot of reversals in it. Confusion, miscommunication, hostility, arguments, destruction, brutality, and look, remorse. They have remorse for all that. They realize there's still two cups here. There's still love here. Failure to communicate, clashing perspectives, painful words. This card is an invitation for the asker, which is your person, to meditate or look within to find clarity about what they truly want, ensuring that they are clear on what their intuition is telling them before sharing their plans with others. So right now your person very much is connecting with their intuition and going within and doing a lot of self-reflection. And again, there's a lot of remorse here for painful words that were spoken, arguments between the two of you, hostilities. And that hostility, that defensiveness comes from a wounded soul. That's someone trying to protect their unhealed wounds because they feel their unhealed wounds being poked at. So they become, again, I always use the example of an animal in a trap. Like their leg is all cut up from a trap and they're wounded. And you come towards them, you want to help them out of that trap. You don't want to hurt them. All you want to do is loosen that trap around their leg, but they feel defensive because you're poking at their wounds. So they start to scratch you and claw you and try and protect themselves. Anyway, there's a lot of remorse over this. And Queen of Swords in reverse. Past wounds, strained connection, introspection, and healing. So for their how they're feeling about you, they could feel a little apprehensive about communicating with you based on whatever happened the last time you communicated. They could be feeling apprehensive about coming towards you. With the Queen of Swords, I feel like they think you're someone who, you know, is being your authentic self, or you spoke from an authentic place. Maybe the last time you spoke to this person, you kind of stood in your power and spoke from, you know, from your power, you spoke very authentically with them. And maybe you even put up a boundary and said, like, if you're going to miscommunicate with me like this, if you're going to be hostile with me, here's my boundary. So they could be, you know, feeling a little apprehensive to talk to you. I don't even know, like, I don't even think that if they reached out right now, it would be a good time to do that because of what they're going through. They need to go through this. They need to have these realizations. They don't need you to put out these fires for them, is what I'm hearing. But strained connections. So clearly this was a triggering connection, like so many twin flame connections are. They're meant to change you. They're meant to trigger all of those unhealed wounds so that you can heal them once and for all. So detached, cold, and guarded. So they could be feeling like you are very cold and guarded with them right now, detached from them. I think that's okay that they feel that way. But it talks about introspection and healing. So it feels like this person knows now that you were triggering some of their past wounds and that these are things about themselves that they need to heal. It also feels like this person knows that you are someone who has done a lot of introspection and you've been healing your past wounds. And maybe that intimidated them, you know? Even with this teach card, you could have taught them some sort of lesson, or they could look up to you. Like if you are someone on this healing journey, they could look up to you in that sense. All right. What do I want to ask now? I want to look at what you should focus on right now. What should you focus on right now? What is your advice? We have temperance. Yeah. Yeah, Spirit, you know where it's at. So what can you work on right now? Balancing your divine feminine and divine masculine energies. I've already said it. That's all, like the first couple minutes in this reading, that's what I was getting. I was getting the energy of temperance. So Spirit's saying, you know, focus on yourself right now. Be patient. Don't try and rush things. Temperance is very much about patience, healing, moderation, things like that. There's also something about business. You could be like, be patient when it comes to your business or your career, however that's resonating for you. You know, if you do see this person as your King of Pentacles, for example, patience is needed because this person isn't ready to be that King of Pentacles in this moment. Right now, they're really going through it. They're going through a shakeup is what I keep hearing. Temperance also talks about, in this specific book, it talks about re-examining the priorities you've chosen, which is kind of what your person is going through. So I think this is interesting advice for you because, again, this could help them energetically. But re-examining where you put your time and energy. And, again, there was something about relationships. So maybe you're meant to be focusing on like relationships that you put a lot of time and energy into that don't give back to you, and redirecting your focus on things that give back to you. And again, if you are starting your own business right now, or you are going after your soul's mission, stepping into your gift, Spirit's saying give it time, be patient, don't rush it. That it will take time for your people to find you. Temperance, a time to evaluate and re-examine the priorities you've chosen. This will help you create a balance between your outer and inner self. The Temperance card suggests moderation and balance coupled with a lot of patience. When this card appears, there's a suggestion that extremes in any situation should be avoided. Balance, peace, patience, moderation, calm, tranquility, harmony, serenity. Career meaning, success from patience and moderation, slow and steady progress. Finances, diligent saving, slow and steady growth. So that's what you need to focus on right now, all of those areas. And again, balancing your feminine and masculine energies. Let's see what your person is supposed to be focusing on. And again, for some of you, that could have to do with career because we have the King of Pentacles. So what is your person meant to be focusing on, or what should they focus on right now? What should your person focus on? Really bizarrely. Well then, isn't that interesting? Their confidence. But as I was saying that, a garbage truck went by. And there's such meaning in that to me. Like, as I was saying, what should your person focus on? Getting rid of anything that no longer aligns with them. Almost like purging, right? Maybe you should do that. If you're looking around your house and you have a bunch of stuff you're not using, donate it. Stop holding on to stuff you don't need. Donate it for someone who actually needs it and can use it. But anyway, what should your person be focusing on right now? This is like, what are they running away from? Seven of Swords, right? They're neglecting their inner child. They're neglecting the lessons they need to learn. They're neglecting the healing and the introspection they need to do. And Spirit's guiding them to stop running. What should they be focusing on? Some of their Seven of Swords behavior. So what do they avoid? What do they run away from? What do they try and get away with? The Seven of Swords, it's like, again, to me, it's an energy of like ignoring our own shadows, ignoring the healing that we need to do, ignoring the less than desirable patterns and things we need to heal from. Eight of Swords, they need to focus on releasing self-limiting beliefs. They need to focus on healing this trauma that they have, these childhood wounds that they have that keep them stuck. They keep them stuck. One of the things that I always hear with the Eight of Swords is it's trauma that keeps us stuck. And our mentality can be like, well, we're just wounded. We'll always be this way. But it's trauma that can actually be healed. It's trauma that can be healed and learned from and released. So right now, your person is meant to be releasing self-limiting beliefs they have about themselves, about love. They're meant to be releasing some Seven of Swords behavior. So that could be like manipulation, deceit, things like that. Again, I think that your person is heavily wounded. I feel like a lot of those, I feel like traits like that are demonized right now on social media. Well, they're just this. They're just a narcissist. They're just this. when really most of it is programmed and learned behavior from their own unhealed parents, if that makes sense. So if this person grew up, watching their parents avoid healing and avoid taking accountability, and they grew up with a parent who spoke to them in a manipulative way, that's what they learn. For some reason, I'm hearing the example of a pit bull, like the way that society, and I've never heard this in a reading, but the way society views pit bulls, like, oh, they're monsters and they'll hurt your children and this and that. It's the way they're raised. If they're not raised to do those things, I've met some beautiful pit bulls in my life, and they've all been big freaking babies who are scared of everything. Again, it's the way they're raised. It's the way they're programmed. Anyway, this reading is this reading is interesting. So that's what your person is working on right now. That's what this chaos and conflict, it's meant to be focused, like getting their focus inward in this hermit energy. And I do believe that this person needs some patience, because this doesn't happen overnight. Again, my little example of saying sorry too much, and that's not even that bad. And I still do it in readings. I still catch myself automatically doing it because it's so deeply ingrained in me. So anyway, let's get you some advice about the future. I don't really want to go into this doesn't feel like the type of reading where I need to do intentions and actions. But I do want to get advice about the future. So what is your advice about the future of this connection? Please, Spirit. So we have be flexible and we have yang. So really right now, focus on your divine masculine energy. And I'll just read it to you. Just don't take this as what you should be doing towards this person, because I'm hearing that's not it. This is about what you can do in your own life, with things in your own life. The power of action, the energies that propel the world forward, and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Now is the perfect time to act, for only you can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come into fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and is a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the shaper of your own destiny now. I'm also going to read about the prosperity message. Again, don't attach it to this person, because it's not meant to be. This isn't about you taking action towards this person, okay? Projects, partnerships, and all matters relating to business are out of the obstacle phase and on to the make it happen phase. Now is the time to stake your claim and get things done. While you can expect to be busier than usual, this card tells you that you have all the energy and vitality you need to accomplish your goals. Abundance is waiting for you to claim it. And we have be flexible, which talks about this card talks about letting go of rigidity. And it also talks about how this person may not be your usual type. Like maybe you never saw yourself, being with someone with some of those tendencies, but there's something very special about this connection that's requiring you to be flexible. A tree's roots are solidly planted on the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now. Oh, okay. Thank you. I get it now. This is for them. This is for them. Because it's talking about a tower. The tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. Also, for you, that's a message about letting go of rigidity, letting go of expectations. You're going to need to be flexible for this all to, come into alignment with you. And for right now to take action towards things you can take action towards. And then we have deep knowing. So I also have a card on the floor that fell into the reverse, which I'm going to read as well. We have Unfinished Symphony. And we have Deep Knowing. So Unfinished Symphony. When unfinished business casts a shadow over your life, it is a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. So your person, definitely with the energy that I was seeing for them, they were escaping some of these things, some of these lessons they need to learn, perhaps procrastinating on some of them. So what can you do? What are you procrastinating about in your life? What are you putting off doing? Are you putting off taking a trip because you're hoping this person will come with you? Are you procrastinating about all the clutter you need to clear out of your house? Are you procrastinating about starting your business? What are you procrastinating about? Because this is saying that's a form of self-sabotage. And again, I feel like this is something that your person goes through, so you can actually help them and yourself. Again, it's not about them, it's about you. At looking at what are you procrastinating about, and how can you put energy towards that? It is not in your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line. Spirit wants you to win. And 43, inner knowing. So trust your inner knowing. Intuition, listening to the oracle within. Empathy, hypersensitivity. There are occasions when you just know deep in your heart and soul that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path, and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey. So pay attention. Your journey. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. So trust that inner knowing. And I'm going to get 2 cards of that other deck for you. So advice about the future of this connection. Advice about the future of this connection. Judgment. Blossom. Judgment. So judgment talks of awakenings. It talks about a lot of self-evaluation. It talks about making adjustments in love, a renewal, a resurrection. So just trust the journey here is what I'm hearing. Let's get one more. You wanted to come out. We have change your focus. So change your focus. Take your energy off of the outcome and really put that energy within. if you, really want to come into alignment with this person, is what I'm hearing. All right, well, I'm just going to get a few message cards from this person for you because I'm curious as to what their higher self wants you to know. Well, that was a horrible shuffle. That's all right. So, what does this person want you to know? I'm just going to get a couple. What does this person want you to know? Yep, fragmentation. Not surprised that came out. All right. So, I am a complicated person with many hidden secrets. I kept a secret for a reason. That's a garbage truck squealing. Oh, maybe this person has some things that you don't even know about that happened to them as a child or happened to them in their past. I was just thinking about that garbage truck. Like maybe this person has some things they've never even told you about. We have over it. They know you are over the games and will no longer accept less than you deserve, which I was kind of seeing that with the Queen of Swords for how they feel about you. We have fragmentation. Until we make our shadows conscious, we will continue to hurt others. And that's what this is about. It's meant to kind of really make you both aware of all these shadows you need to heal. Frequency, I can't stop thinking about you. We are aligning on the same frequency vibration. So clearly this person thinks about you a lot. 3D, I've been programmed to focus on tangible items, what is right in front of me. We have grow old, promise me you won't stop loving me even when we are old and gray, together forever. And thoughts, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about you. You're the one for me. So just know this person is thinking about you. But they've got to go through this chaos and conflict, which will bring more stability to their life. Anyway, bit of an interesting reading. But my friends, I am going to leave this here. I am sending you lots of love and light as always, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.